It's hard to comprehend the long course of events that have brought each of us here today. For some of us, it's a matter of deep personal loss experienced on September 11th, 2001. It's very emotional every year. We get together, many of us in Somerset County every September, and the scab is ripped off every year. Flight 93 came down in a field just outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. When it came down, it came over a hill, inverted, just under 600 miles an hour, and went straight in. We heard what was going on. We watched the towers come down in disbelief. It was almost surreal to watch it happen. And then, to hear that afternoon that my brother was involved, it was just a body blow. I got that initial call from my sister-in-law that Ed was on a plane that hadn't been accounted for. And it wasn't until a little bit later in the early afternoon that I got a call where she confirmed that he was on Flight 93 and that the plane had come down. And at that point she asked if I could tell my mother, that Ed was gone. Well, Ed was my big brother. He was a wonderful father, loved his daughters, loved his wife more than anything. He didn't deserve this. None of them did. Thousands of innocent people were killed that day. I think we need to remember them collectively as the thousands that were murdered by terrorists on September 11th. But we never want to forget that they were individuals. The lesson from Flight 93 certainly is that we are strong, willing to stand up at a moment's notice and fight back against threats and tyranny. And I think that it reinforced that we still have that in us. It's in our American psyche. We learned early in the process that the Navy was going to commission these 3 different ships. We were privileged to be able to meet the crew, get a tour of the ship and see not only how impressive the ship was just in terms of its capabilities, but also how the story of our loved ones was built into that ship, and it stands as a tribute to them. It's a real honor to know that the military holds those sites and those that lost their lives in such high esteem, and hopefully it will motivate those men and women that will be serving on those ships. Well, upon meeting the men and women that serve on the ship, I couldn't have been more impressed. They're volunteers. They've stepped up to the plate to put their lives on the line. How can they be considered anything other than heroes? It's overwhelmingly inspiring, because we can't afford to forget the lessons that we learned on September 11th, and the crew is helping to keep those lessons alive. Certainly there's a sense of comfort knowing that the Somerset is out there fighting terrorism, helping to keep us safe. Knowing that there's such strength and power that is helping to keep our country safe and our citizens safe is important. I think that the legacy of our loved ones is a group of citizens that were faced with an extraordinarily horrific challenge, and they chose to stand up and fight. And I think that's the lesson that needs to resonate, that we can't afford to sit back. We need to be proactive. We need to stand up for what we believe in. Well, September 11th is always going to mean loss for me and my family and our country. I'll also think about our country's response to September 11th and how we came together and with great strength and responded as a country to not allow the actions of the terrorists more greatly affect the course of our lives. And at the end of the day, I don't know what else I could ask for. To know that my brother and those 40 other heroes in Flight 93 will be remembered.